Work. Don't touch anything.
I can't touch anything.
Yeah. Now I'm telling myself. Okay. Welcome, actually, back to what I now officially will have translated to. It's the nerd shelf. A metaphorical shelf where me and my friend over here,
Hello.
Force, Mr. Tambur Major, Mr. Matthias, is we're going to just talk about things that we are interested in. We're gonna put it up on the shelf. It could be anything from usually from the month between these small pods update. Yeah.
Yeah, like small timestamps of what have we been up to, what have we seen, what have we played.
And it's a good creative thing to. I like in a way just to do something because we're both people that wants to
Talk.
so that about creating stuff. I heard that you're going to be a bit of a builder, that you have your first model.
Yeah, actually, I made that jump. So yeah, I've been collecting small sheep figurines from anime for not very long, and then one day I saw a one of these models you have to assemble yourself, and I thought, man, that looks pretty cool. But then I saw another model from the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. It had not the rebuild version, but the original 1996 version model kit. So I just thought, I should get that. And then I did. And I haven't cracked it open yet because I'm afraid I'll mess it up. So I bought another model to practice on, and that should arrive in about a week.
How big is this thing?
Oh, I have actually no idea because the site I bought it from said that, yeah, I think it's about 5 inches. That's about 10 centimeters. I think about 13 centimeters. They thought, because it's never been assembled. It's just been moved from the original plastic bag to another. And yes, I checked all the parts are there. Yeah, approximate size 5 inches. We think.
We think.
Yeah.
Maybe, could be. We're not sure.
Yeah. So it's not as detailed as modern figurines or anything. It's just, I don't know. I had that, ooh, this is an old thing and I'd like to have it kind of moment.
Looking forward to actually seeing it.
Yeah, thinking about live streaming that whole cutting, building process. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into.
But please do.
Please do for our entertainment.
If it's not going to be it's interesting, he's making this thing, it's at least going to be entertaining to see you maybe fail.
Maybe cut my fingers off with a sharp blade.
At the end, it's such colors of red splashes on it.
I mean, it's a pretty bloody series. I mean, it would give some effect. Briefly.
Briefly.
Ugh.
Okay.
So if you didn't
get to the show.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch that, I'm the weeb of the bunch.
Yeah. That's another thing. We're going to get into a bit of it's just been the Steam sale.
Yeah.
And we have bought a bunch of games. Just talk about. So it's going to be a mix of old games and new games. I think.
Yeah.
I have at least a bunch of it's a mixed bag for me. But just going into the weeb part. You told me about. You have said something that you're doing now. I'm going to just say, it's too bad that Persona 5 doesn't exist on PC or anything that you're
Actually playing.
playing.
To be honest, I actually have a PS3 right next to me.
Yeah, but it's on PS4.
Yeah, but the other Personas though.
The other Personas are on PlayStation 2.
I was sure I saw that
PlayStation
at the
3
store.
I don't think PlayStation 3 got any. I don't know. It could be. Let's see. Persona 4. Platform PlayStation Vita yeah. Persona 4 apparently exists on PlayStation 3.
Ah.
So, but I don't know anything about Persona 4.
You would just recommend the fifth one.
Fifth one is amazing. Like in a sort of, hey, I actually feel like I can't tell if I'm feeling like a Japanese youngster or like a Japanese kid going to high school or whatever.
Is this
but
the
I
true
do
high
feel
school
like
experience?
an anime. I do feel like a Japanese anime character going to school and also being like Sailor Moon at night. So it's the full Sailor Moon experience, I would say.
Every girl's dream.
Yeah, you have mystical masks, and you go into people's like subconscious, and you can make them have a change of heart if they are either the first guy is like a creepy gym teacher that and he treats the school like his castle. So when you go into his subconscious, you go into this enormous castle where he walks around as a king, wearing only a crown, a mantle, and underwear. That's the only, because that's
the guy needs to be
image
comfortable.
of himself.
So
if I was a king, I would do the same.
So it's like if Psychonaut was developed in Japan and not by Tim Schafer.
Oh God, that's a good. Almost, yeah, and it's a strange blend of because you're a phantom thief, it's a mix of RPG because it's turn-based combat, but you can also utilize stealth before that. So you can hide behind things, so you can stealth attack enemies and get a jump on them in combat. And you can read in on the different characters you have because they have a persona, which is this monster that appears behind them. And for example, this girl Anne, I was thinking she doesn't really look like a Japanese girl. She has this long blonde hair, and people talk about her looks a bit. And then I saw on her jacket she had what's it called, a clover, a four-leafed clover. Yeah. But not only that, her persona is in form of a gypsy dancer. So you can think that maybe she has some, I don't know, maybe some Scottish background, I don't know. It's a bunch of things where people come from and their heritage, and it's crazy. It's really good, and it's too long for what I actually have
time for.
But, enough about that. Let's get into Steam sales, because everyone is crazy about these things.
Yeah,
the summer sale.
Yeah, I thought I weren't anymore actually, but well, color me surprised when I picked up 15 games, as we just counted.
I mean, you'd never know because it'll interest you at that moment.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, this looks fun. This is too cheap to give up, and I've always wanted to try this one. Now it's super cheap. So did you pick up anything fun to play on your PC?
Like seven games. Yeah, I found this really nice thing for under $1.
Oh, I like those.
I found this really, really cool game. It's called Half-Life. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I just realized that I have played Half-Life, but I played it on your Steam account like way back when I was like, I don't know, when we just started to really
Hang out.
Yeah,
that must have been a long time ago because I don't even remember it.
It to me so I could play Counter-Strike on a LAN party, but and
that rings a bell.
But now I own Half-Life myself. It costs it only cost me nothing at all.
No.
It felt like it was like, yeah, oh,
is this a game? Oh, sorry, I just picked that up.
It's less than a candy bar. It's less than a candy bar, basically.
Lasts longer.
Less than Snickers. Yeah, that certainly does. I mean, I haven't played it yet. I probably will jump into it because it's a good shooter. I remember it being. After all, anyway, you played.
Yeah, I actually got very absorbed into the sale. So I was going in with two things in mind. I'm going to buy Hollow Knight and I'm going to buy Little Nightmares. And then I didn't play either of them because I found something else. I found Wolfenstein: The New Order and Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And I was like, yeah, let's give Wolfenstein a shot. I mean, if it's bad, I could just refund it. So I'm just going to start it up, check some settings, get into it. Yeah, this is a pretty nice story. Well, this is a very fluid system. I can't really tell where the missions end and where the calm moments are. It's very seamless. So, well, I was going for 1 hour and ended up with 10 hours and beat the last boss. So I just finished it in one sitting. And now I want the second game. The New Colossus, I think it's called.
Yeah, the New Colossus. I think I'm halfway through Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Which one did you choose?
Huh?
Which one?
In the beginning?
Yeah, which one did you choose? Which
the
one?
Older man.
Is the old man alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
I chose the young boy.
Okay.
So
we got different outcomes.
How exciting.
I mean, like, doesn't do that a lot, but it's enough. Like, it's very visual in the changes.
Yeah.
I haven't. I think, isn't there like second playthrough thing you can do on it that changes the whole game?
Changes the whole game. Are you talking about the DLC?
They have They have like a alternative history.
I actually no idea. I guess I'll have to play it again then.
Wolfenstein: The New Order. Through your second playthrough. This game seems very. I don't know. It's too much text for such a short podcast to like. But what I understand that is have some sort of.
Yeah, it has some bonus content. I think. Yes. I think it has some bonus content, and then if you collect more of these Enigma codes, you can unlock stuff. And
have you listened to the records you can gather?
Oh, there's so many of them.
That have alternative history music.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting.
The Rising Sun
and then to move swiftly to another genre. The day after, I was like, okay, yesterday I played 10 hours of this game. That's never happened to me before. Gonna take it easy. Gonna start up Danganronpa. played 10 hours of that as well. So, and if you know,
What is Danganronpa?
do you know about the Ace Attorney games? Like objection.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's a bit more active. You get to be more active as a player. So it's
which one of the Danganronpa games?
The first one. In the in the main story.
Okay.
The third one comes out, I think, this year. It's already out in Japan, but not on PC. And then there's a lot of side games. But in the main games, there's Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and Goodbye Despair. And I played through the first one. That took 20 hours to complete. Not 100%, but just the story. And I actually really like those kind of visual novel murder mystery games. This one is very anime tropey. Because you're introduced to 50... Hey, you're locked inside a school with 15 anime characters. And they have all... They've all got Japanese names. Which, to a Swedish person, is pretty hard to remember sometimes. Yeah. But they use tropes, kinda, to make it easier to just... Oh yeah, that's the character that does that. And then it does that. And then you go around the school, and then a murder happens. You get to investigative phase, and then when you have investigated,
can you move freely in the 3D room? Like I'm watching a small trailer now.
Sorry, you can walk around inside the school with kind of tank controls. You know, it's a little clunky movement out in the main world. And then when you enter a room, it turns into this point and click like Ace Attorney has. Like, oh, what's that on the top shelf? Can I look at that? So, yeah, it's pretty much like Ace Attorney in another setting at the investigations. And when the game knows that, hey, you're done investigating, you go on to the class trials. And those are a whole lot of different from Ace Attorney, because now there's a time limit, and you must convince the living students that that person committed a murder. And if you fail, everyone dies. But if you succeed, only the one who committed the murder will be punished, so to speak. So, and you get... Yeah, it's very complex to actually explain how the game functions. But actually, I like the... Go on.
Seems to have a lot of things going on in it, like lots of mechanics.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of mechanics.
There's a lot of like crazy stuff going on. You have the investigative mode. You have a mode you have to talk to all the characters.
Yeah, there's social mode. In the first game, being social with other characters, you can skip this, but it gives you bonuses during the class trials. So like, hey, in the last segment, kind of, if there's a character who's very stubborn, you can try to convince them that, no, my point of view is actually right. And then you go into a kind of a rhythm game. Who consists of
I see that.
rhythm, shoot, reload, and you have to micromanage those materials to just be able to get through that part. And like, oh, I talked to this person and gave this guy a gift, and he really enjoyed it. So then he gave me the perk who lets me reload twice the amount of bullets when I reload, and that makes that mode a little bit less stressful.
Okay.
And yeah, I played 20 hours of it, so I actually got really invested in it. Because I like those games. I like the Ace Attorney games. And this was just like that, only a little more more anime-tropey, and I'd say maybe a bit darker, because you're living with the murderers, and they're also trying to cover it up actively.
So it's like Clue.
Yeah, it's Clue.
I got really into that. I bought the Darkest Dungeon.
Oh,
finally. Have you played it?
yes, I own it, but I haven't gotten very far. But I haven't checked it out after the Radiant patch they put out. That patch that makes the game a whole lot less grindy.
Oh, okay.
February,
yeah,
I think.
that's a great game.
Yes,
Like, it's just
super fun.
all the atmosphere. It made me also go out and it made me start listening to a H.P. Lovecraft book,
Oh,
The Call of Cthulhu. It was not a good book.
but you listened to it.
Yeah, I did. I did listen to. It's easier, and I mean, the atmosphere. It's like in the game though. It's like I love games where I have to manage all my groups, and especially if it's hard in a way that they just, their sicknesses, their psychological problems, and I can choose how to deal with them. I had this girl that she was a nymphomaniac all of a sudden, and I'm just for an experiment just made her go to the brothel, and soothes her somewhat, but it keeps it's like it's allows for a lot of experimentation.
Yeah,
because with all the like they have the flatulent thing, they can go and fart away their problems. Something.
Are you talking about flagellation?
Flagellation.
That is whipping oneself.
Whipping oneself. Okay.
To flange oneself.
That was
it's the part of the church.
very awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll edit that out. Maybe not.
I don't know. I was thinking,
but that's a bit weird. I guess, yeah, whatever floats your boat.
The 18th century was weird. 17th century, I don't know when. Yeah, it's anyway.
that's canon now,
Mm-hmm. It is. Flatulation. No. Yeah. Okay. So, but
yeah.
Got that far either.
No, it's really brutal. It's like, hey, you like this character? You finally got a hold of a jester? Well, sorry. He just got stressed out. He killed someone. And then he killed himself.
I can't. I have tried all the different classes enough times to actually start developing my teams.
No, it's really hard, that one.
Because at the moment it's like, oh, I got this one, I want to try him with this thing. Like, just throw everyone in and see how it goes. I like to have my have a necromancer with me. They are very flexible. Yeah, it's cool. Another game that I bought that is Dark Messiah. And Dark Messiah Might and Magic, should I say.
Can you hear that cat? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's a cat.
That's a cat. Hey. What did you say? Dark Magic of Might... What was it? Of Messiah?
Might and Magic. Why haven't anyone told me about this excellent game? Imagine, it's from 2006. and built in the Source engine.
Mm.
So I'm set in the Might and Magic world. So imagine Elder Scrolls. Just imagine an Elder Scrolls game, but it's built more like Half-Life 2. So it's this crazy world. You have this character that you can build up however you want with the different gear and the different talents and everything. But the world allows you to, like, you have the levitation magic that's sort of like the gravity gun, and you can just, it's so satisfying to, that physics engine is still really, really good, because it's still satisfying to just pick up a box and just throw it in the face of
Everyone.
So fun. It's that, I don't know how much time I have put into that.
I just keep track of those I've played because it's been a long time since I really got stuck in games like that.
Yeah, I've only been playing like 6 hours of that. I don't have that much time for it.
No, I had time those 2 days. That's what I spent it on. Killing Nazis and suicides, bears.
Suicides.
So, yeah.
Steam sales. Have Steam sales been like... You said you weren't that interested anymore. Like,
no, I'm
Steam
still
sales...
interested in them. It's just that, I mean, there's so many games in my account that I still haven't played.
Yeah.
And I mean...
But then something new comes and...
Yeah, exactly.
You don't play it then, but then it gets on the Steam sale, and then you play that before.
Yeah, exactly. So then your backlog just keeps increasing. And I know I have no self-control with that, but hey... Games, they're fun.
Games, am I right?
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to play Dark Souls 3 or The Witcher 3. You just want to sit down and play some... I'm just looking for an example here.
I played Machinarium again for the umpteenth time.
I still haven't played that one.
Now it's the best time to play it because they have updated the entire game.
Yeah, does it feel updated?
Oh my god, yes. It's so beautiful. Like, there's things... I have played the game, like, back to it, and just because it's satisfying, and just satisfying enough puzzles and everything. So I just think I played it like 4 or 5 times.
Damn.
Now. It's a very short game, especially when you know what.
Yeah, of
what
course.
I have seen new things. I have seen new things in the art.
That's
They
neat.
have redone a few things. I think they have redone a few assets. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just high resolution on everything now. Frame rate, once again, like, the frame rate makes a huge difference.
Neat.
Just everything moves along a lot faster. The character just...
It's not as slow.
Goes exactly where you want. Yeah, and has this ability where you can... Originally, you were supposed to, like, you can grab onto the character and pull him upwards, because he was like an accordion.
Yeah, I know that. I played the first few seconds of the game.
Yeah, and you sort of had to do that physically, like you have to do that with your mouse, dragging him up. But and that could sometimes be a pain. I remember, accurate and all that. But now it's just you can click on him up or down. Yeah, it's small things like that, and they have a few symbols on places where clearer. I also want to believe that the music and sounds just feels better. Now, I don't know if they rebuilt this in like Unity or something, but I'm not sure. It was originally a JavaScript game,
Oh,
a Flash-based game. So
you can really
that's
feel the
why they had
upgrade.
to. Yeah, so they really had to, if they wanted people to actually be able to play it in the future. But also, I bought Samrost. Is that how you say
yeah,
it?
I think it's
Samrost
Samorost.
2.
That's how I say it.
So I own, will probably, I have a lot of those games that I'm saving for like lonely nights with a glass of wine, you know. Samroth 2, Absu,
God, I like Absu.
Ether, either one. It's like a little horror based sort of game. Yeah.
And I have my, what's it called? Oh, no, I lost the word completely.
You once
Minimalistic puzzle
told me
games. I'm
you also told
sold on
me
those.
you bought Rapture. Everyone wants to Rapture.
Oh yeah, I did. And then I refunded it. I never played
Oh,
through the game.
it wasn't that
Oh
good then.
god, it's really nothing. It's really one of those visual novels. Like you go there, you're like, hey, you're dropped into this world. What happened? I don't really care. I don't have the motivation to find out what's actually keeping me here. And then it's, hey, look at that shiny light. I should go follow it. Well, silly light, you led me to a one-way street. Now I have to go back. Because that's how your script works.
Yeah.
It's to tell you, you can't explore freely. You must follow me.
Yeah, that's what I heard about it.
And then it turns into some weird. I have actually no idea what the plot is trying to be. But I gave it a chance. I gave it an hour to just walk.
Just walk.
And no, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I simply couldn't.
that's what I heard about it.
So
What was that minimalist game you talked about?
yeah, I'm.
Let's go back.
Yeah,
Let's go back to something.
something fun. No, you said you were like, yeah, you collect games for like those kind of rainy days, maybe a glass of wine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have my small guilty pleasures of those tiny minimalistic flash games, puzzle games. They're like, hey, there's a thing on the screen, make it all fit. How does it work? I don't know, it's kind of abstract. So games like Clocky, Hook, then I picked up Kami now, and Voi, VOI. They're weird puzzle games, but I kind of like them because, first of all, they're not expensive. Second of all, it's just kind of relaxing, but also slightly kind of challenging because you actually need to use your brain to figure out some of those puzzles. And I just enjoy them. On some weird level.
I haven't seen that. Huh. Neat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
neat.
they're pretty neat actually.
Yeah, I want one like simple and challenging game, so I got myself Devil Dagger.
Oh, I thought about picking that up.
Yeah, that's challenging. that's 3D bullet hell. Bullet hell in 3 dimensions. First person.
So it's Quake with stuff falling at you.
I love the art style. It have that old Quake art style.
Yeah, very arcadey.
Yeah, and it's super simple. See a dagger in front of you, you go up to it, and suddenly your hand's glowing, and you can either hold the left mouse button and just spray bullets, or if you sort of how did that work? You can like
It's like a
button
continuous fire.
and you wait. Yeah, if you wait for a moment, then it will start spraying bullets. But if you're releasing it just before that, then it will be a shotgun blast. So that's the two only attacks you have. And then these giant demonic pillars will appear, and it's very Cthulhu-esque. Again, a lot of tentacles coming around, and burning skulls started following you, and yeah, it's awesome if you like that kind of games. I will keep it.
Yeah.
Just I will probably come back to it now and then when I just want something super quick and
sometimes you just need those mind clearers.
Yeah.
I mean, my game like that is Super Hexagon.
I was actually thinking a bit about Super Hex. It gave me sort of the same feeling.
Like you can't think about anything else while you're playing this. You can only focus on the game.
This is like you have to focus on Devil Dagger. A YouTube clip next to it and have that roll. If you want to get anywhere in that game, you just have to focus on it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
looks neat.
Yeah. How many more? Yeah, it's neat. It's neat.
Pretty neat.
Anything more that you feel like, the world needs to know?
I mean, I picked up like I said, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't on the sale. I picked up Hollow Knight and Little Nightmares, so I'm going to try those. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm looking forward to.
What were they on sale?
Hollow Knight and Little Nightmares, yes. I think the first day Hollow Knight was on the front page, so I had plans of buying them even if they weren't on sale.
Hollow Knight were not on my radar. I will try to play Little Nightmares.
Yeah,
I have tried it before.
Yeah, me too.
But not enough.
No, and I heard that they're going for a DLC to Little Nightmares, so I was like, hey, I should jump into this.
Cool.
And then Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was super cheap, so I picked that up and I actually enjoyed it. Played 2 hours so far.
To that for a little bit, because I want to download the latest update thing, so you could transfer the enemy and your greatest ally to Shadow of Mordor, like Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Really? Yes. I mean, I need that. I need to do that. I need my
arch nemesis.
My arch enemies needs to be. It's an amazing concept. I think it's super simple for them because they just sort of
kind of generate them? No?
Yeah, it's because they're procedural generated, but I guess inside the game they have to be put together of different parts, like a character creator, and that has a code.
I think someone actually killed all their nemesis. I saw a post here just before we started talking. Hey, I finally killed all my nemesis in Shadow of Mordor.
Oh. because I had the opposite thing happening, where I had no nemesis because everyone was taken over by me.
Ah.
So when I got to the end, the game had to make up new ones.
Well,
which was a bit underwhelming. To have more of, because I understand it has more of an intrigue, and some of your like allies can actually betray you.
neat.
Maybe should we take like the last, like we have about 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about movies?
Yeah, we can talk about movies.
We have watched 2 movies. Like one of them, Okja.
Yes, one of them was Okja.
The first movie, in my opinion. Like I have had problems with like every other movies that I've seen that wasn't a documentary.
No, this was really, really, what was it, new? Never seen something like this before.
What's his name? Let's see.
You talk about the director or producer or
The director.
Yoon Ho Bong.
Yes.
Snowpiercer, he was a writer for.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and he... Yoon Ho Bong also not only a writer, he was the director for Snowpiercer, and he was in Snowpiercer. He played a part in that.
He is the Snowpiercer.
He is the Snowpiercer. No, but then he also made The Host. I think The Host is the movies that allowed him to be famous around in America. Famous enough to get to make American movies. Host is just...
I haven't seen that one.
Like he usually take like a dreamy scenario, something like his usual thing is that he's take a very dreamy scenario and he started to mix in different genres. The Okja is sort of the amalgamation of that. It's just
fitting word with amalgamation there.
I mean, because and one part it's sort of a Studio Ghibli romantic movie about the girl and her strange mutant pig.
Yeah.
And the other part is this and yeah, also it's, I think we're going to say spoilers because we just I'm at least just going to spout out things about it.
Yeah, for the movie discussions there will be spoiler warnings. If you haven't seen the movies, you can probably expect some. Because we will only discuss movies we've seen, both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the spoiler?
Best. No, but at the other part of the movie, it's about like the meat industry and how horrible that is, and but also in that it's about how corrupt, in a sense, the activists.
Yes.
The meat industry can be. So it's very much like and this.
The movie throws you into this sort of gray area, like, yeah, we're against the big baddie, but we're a bit extreme, activists as well.
Did you like feel emotionally after? Because I was like, I work right after, and I was like, oh my god, look at meat. Great, but
well, I had already eaten lunch before I saw the movie, and it was chicken, so I'm fine. But I mean, just because I'm going to see this movie right now, I don't know. I don't. I mean, of course, it had an impact because it's one of those. I mean, it's been accused of being a preachy movie.
Did you like it? Like,
I enjoyed it. I liked it
yeah.
because I will quote. I was looking up a little bit to collect my consensus of the movie, and I found this quote from a user called The True T on Reddit that I'm going to quote right now. The movie is not advocating strict veganism. Mia and her grandfather are seen eating fish and egg, while the movie also pointedly makes fun of the over-the-top veganism of one of the ALF members, the fasting guy. The movie is more of an attack on the ethics of industrial complex farming practices and the perils of buying into compassionate marketing campaigns. So, like, it's not a movie that preaches like, yeah, you need to stop eating meat. It's more like, yeah, this whole meat industry that we're having, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And I read so many comments from people like, oh, I was like, I eat meat, but I actually got really kind of sick after watching that movie. And then people said, yeah, but if you felt bad after watching this movie and still eat meat, there are worse things happening in industrial farming. In industrial farming. And so it's more poking at the big factory farms and specifically pigs in this case.
Yeah. I mean, because pigs is like pigs is sort of the face of the meat industry because they are used only for their meat, unlike cows that is also used for their milk.
Yeah.
And chickens that are used also for their eggs and stuff. But pigs is used only for their meat.
Aren't they? Yeah, aren't pigs only useful when dead? To cut it harshly, because aren't they also used in like surgery or something? Because both skin and organs kind of fit us.
Yeah, they very much like us.
So
that's a big old thing, like with how similar to us pigs actually are.
Yeah,
and
eerily.
That's also why I don't. Some pharmaceuticals is said to use their medicines on pigs because their innards is very much like us, and their bacteria, they have sort of the same bacteria and like a.
Yeah, and their skin can also get sunburned.
Yes.
So probably skincare products as well. So the whole animal industry, it's kind of like a big finger, both of that and also the activists. While the movie's two center characters, Mia and Okja, like they get the movie's like they get caught in the middle of this.
And like a lot of understand from John Ho's movies, it's like all she wants is to get home.
Yeah, that's all she wants.
Her animal, and at the end, that is what's happening, and fuck all, almost. Yeah. Like the Snowpiercer have the same sort of ending. I think that's a thing that he wants. Like life goes on, sort of ending. Even though you have been lied to and you've been dragged through all of these things, her life and Okja's life still goes on.
Yeah.
Even with this knowledge, and she doesn't seem to be motivated to change. fascinating. Have there's a picture. I'm looking at it right now. I'm on IMDb. I see a picture of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
There. What did you think about his character?
Johnny Wilcox. Oh yeah.
Characters, I was like, yeah, I get that. I really like. I mean, Tilda Swinton is of course really good. The girl that plays the main character, she does exactly the thing you expect from her. But then like Jake Gyllenhaal is in there like an evil Steve Irving sort of guy.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, I'm just in it for the money now. And then deteriorates along the movie. When they show up at the lab and he's blacked out, not blacked out drunk, but he's smashed. Yeah.
I enjoyed. I know what he went for, and I sort of just in the moment, I just went along for the ride, and was like, yeah, I could get sort of behind this. He didn't really get a payoff. He sort of just disappeared after the riot.
Yeah.
And then we heard nothing more from him.
No, he fell off the stage, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah, it was weird to have a character that was so like
central to the plot.
I don't know. Yeah, it's. I was like expecting because of a certain scene. Horrible. It's a horrible, like a very nasty scene with Jake Gyllenhaal and Okja. I mean, that there was going to be some sort of payoff from that. Doing something to, I don't know. I wanted something there, but never got it. And I don't know. Maybe that was just purpose. Sort of, these things are happening, and maybe they can't get resolved. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean,
feel right to me.
No, I mean the ending didn't really change anything.
No, right.
They actually this movie just ended in kind of like a status quo. The only thing they did was they got Okja out of there, along with a little cub of piglet. not the piglet.
Yeah.
But as they make very clear, it's like, yeah, they managed to get these two out, but they have no chance of rescuing the others. So, like, the big baddies win in the end.
Yeah.
They just remain. They just status quo. That we're back where we begun. She was on a wild ride to get her back, and she did.
Yes, and did we get the villain at the end was changed out? That was another thing. Like, it felt they built up this sister, this Tilda Swinton's character had a sister.
And que surprise, it's Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton played Lucy Miranda, but then she also played Nancy Miranda, who was her sister. And when she appeared, they had sort of built the character up for me, and then she was there, and it was Tilda Swinton in different clothes, and that was what it was.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was something strange about it, because how they had... I don't know, it felt like, was the secret that, like, you know... Not that, like, there was a secret in the plot of the movie, but to me as an audience,
Yeah, there was something
was
kept
like,
secret, and then when the reveal happens, like, okay,
this was
I have.
exactly what I expected. Of course, Tilda Swinton will play both the sisters. Like, but felt like they wanted her to be this extreme character that, like, oh my god, is that her? But then,
And then her again.
but overall, like a solid movie, from Netflix, and I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what
So
else
high
they.
quality,
Yeah, the CG.
the animation, CG, and everything. Good length. Like I was thinking of, like, that was the perfect length for this movie.
Yeah, it had good pacing. It wasn't boring. Sure, I mean, the movie slowed down, but it was never like, come on, can we get this scene over with? And then that end credit scene was also fun.
That Korean guy with them, and
Yeah.
cool.
I'm not sure what I think about him, but I kind of like him, I think. He just doesn't give a shit.
Your name is red because of your hair.
Stop talking.
Yeah. Okay, stop talking, please. Yeah. And also the guy that I don't know his name at the moment. He played the leader of the activists.
Are you talking about
Paul Dano? Known for, like, Swiss Army Man recently, and yeah, he's been in all kind of stuff, like Little Miss Sunshine, and
yeah, I think that's where I remember him from, because he has this. There's something about his face. I recognized him as soon as I saw him. It's like, oh, it's you. Where have I seen you before?
He was perfect.
Yeah.
You never knew where you had him. Yeah, he's that. Like, he's exactly that.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to, like, see him in movies being like evil. Like, I'm ready to see him do full on evil guy.
Yeah, I mean, he looks corruptible.
Yeah, I think, but yeah, he's could be creepy about him. Like when he kicked that other guy.
Oh yeah.
After the mission, and oh god. Yeah, Okja was cool. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was certainly a nice experience. I haven't seen anything like it before. And it's nice also seeing some non-English speaking movies get the way. I mean, this is it's a Netflix original, but it's also not a fully English movie. It's mainly Korean.
Yes, it's Korean. Beautiful Korean landscapes also in it. Yeah. There's a lot of things about this movie that was just good.
Yeah.
And solid. Now it was a bit sad.
Yeah. Because it's also a very dark movie.
So we have like 10 minutes? Sort of. I don't know how much.
I think I've been recording.
There's like one. I don't know how long we have been recording for. I didn't put a timer on, but I have my clock next to me, so I think we're soon up to an hour.
Yeah.
Do you wanna because have you seen Spider-Man?
Yes, I did
Homecoming?
see it. I have seen it, and so has you.
Yeah, I have. I saw it 2 days ago.
I think I saw it. It's Friday, so 3 days ago. Haha. Yeah. What did we think about it?
Ultimately, like, oh god,
I have
it's
trouble reflecting on the movie, actually.
I have troubles with the entire movie. Like, it's it's not Amazing Spider-Man
No. And that's
bad.
good.
I think yes, the problem is that I will always rank the Spider-Man movies by like how close does this come to being the Sam Raimi's two first
Yeah.
movies.
Because they were wonky Spider-Man movies, but they were actually good movies by themselves.
So good,
And
like,
that's the thing. Because this movie, being in my opinion, and I don't have very much in the comic world.
yeah,
Yeah, I just enjoy the movies. I like Spider-Man as a character, but I don't know how he's supposed to be as a character. So, in my opinion, I mean, it's Spider-Man 2 is still it's a good movie, and but this one, it fits in the cinematic universe that Marvel has
yeah.
built up, and but it's not a good movie in the way that Spider-Man 2 is a good movie.
No, because like
It's not trying to be as also either.
Felix got the same problems that the Amazing Spider-Man movies had, that it wanted to fit all this stuff in, but Spider-Man movies wanted to fit all this world building in with all these characters, and always said to us, look, this will happen in the next movie, this will happen in the next movie. This didn't have that problem, which is great. No movie, no matter universe or whatever you're trying to do with it, should always be a self-contained story, somewhat.
Yeah.
Even if it's a follow-up, even if it's whatever. But this still wanted to cram in so much stuff. It had all this parts in it that it wanted to do. So I didn't really get to be with so many of the characters. Like Aunt May, for example, only got to be like, oh, she's hot,
Yeah.
isn't she? And then Zendaya, the Zendaya character, she was like, yeah, I'm a hipster and I read books. So I wanted us to like care so much about everything that was going on, but they wouldn't stay still enough.
No. And that's the thing. It really feels like. I mean, it comes off as a bit like chaotic. It's like, oh, I want to be here. I'm gonna be here, and I'm not sure. I'm just reflecting as I go on here. If they hit that spot with like keeping it like he's fighting between should I focus on school and my friends, and should I just become Spider-Man? And some of these things I actually like that they did, because they could have gone some other ways with it. I mean, the party scene, at the party in the beginning,
as Spider-Man.
Yeah, when he's supposed to appear at the party as Spider-Man. And he sits on the roof like, okay, I'm going down there, I'm gonna introduce myself and say, hey, what's that? It could have gone. I mean,
they could have gone full cheese.
Yeah, it could have been so much cheesier, and it so many times it looked like it was going to fall into this is me trying to be popular in school trope. Because I have a secret that I'm going to exploit to gain popularity, because I'm a nerd right now. But it didn't.
But at the same time, because they didn't do anything with that, then it felt like, why was it there?
Yes.
To let him be at that specific place, but that could have been changed around. I think they should have done a few things earlier, like the idea of the Michael Keaton character, the enemy. I liked his design. I liked the vulture, and it was cool that they were actually
they made him
rest parts, like things that was to say carcasses, like, because he's a vulture.
He's a scavenger
In that sense, and that was cool.
I agree.
And I Robert Downey Jr., of course, always good. I like Jon Favreau's part, also a part that could have been fleshed out a bit more. I don't know, they should have like focused in on a few instead of like they had.
Yeah, I mean, this movie kind of becomes his origin story, because we don't have Uncle Ben, we don't have Bitten by Spider. We have more.
And maybe they should have done that, like, because I was with everyone that, like, we shouldn't have an origin story again.
No.
But at the same time, all movies should be sort of this self-contained thing. So maybe a montage, something in the beginning,
a mention, anything.
Like,
because
now it was like his friend was like, "So can I be bitten by the spider?" And Peter's like, "The spider is dead." But what we still didn't get to know where he got bitten by the spider. Was it Oscorp or was it some other place? Maybe could it have been that the spider was affected by Chitaris, because now it's the Avengers universe, so it's like an alien radiated spider. So because
there's so many questions.
At this point we should be clear that Spider-Man shouldn't have bitten by a radioactive spider, because
he would become
radioactive things is not a thing. Shouldn't
No.
But at the same time, we have Hulk in this universe, so it could tie into that whole thing.
Yeah. So
they had all that finished in the universe with the armies. So about how like this really focused in on like 50. I felt like okay, this focused in on like the 15-year-old kids watching this. It's keeping the attention span, like, look at this, this is happening, look, things is exploding. And was just bathing in sort of bathos, this idea of like, we have dramatic moments, but we will hide it at the end of them. Like, never let itself be too serious.
No.
Which I get all the Marvel cinematic universe.
Yeah. Mostly those, these kind of, I don't want to call them spin-offs, but they tend to be more rapid. The longer they are, the more they are away from Avengers, the more rapid fire the humor seems to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with Ant-Man and Guardians.
Yeah, but still, with those movies, I don't know. Ant-Man works better.
Yes.
I don't
know how to see.
They try to do. What did you want to say?
No, I was like, I have trouble knowing if I'm like you're saying, a movie should be self-contained, and I have trouble seeing this movie as a self-contained universe, and more of like, this is the first part of something. This movie is the Marvel Spider-Man origin movie.
I watched it with my girlfriend, and she was all afterwards, because she felt invited at all. Because she was like, I don't know, is any of this happening? Why does he have his powers? Because she doesn't she's not into Spider-Man like I am.
No.
And this also proves
Mm.
that you can't really do a first Spider-Man movie some sort of connection to Uncle Ben, because Uncle Ben is the
Catalyst.
it's the catalyst. It's the start. It's the philosophy. It's the idea of like, is Spider-Man strong enough? So when that moment came where he's going to prove that he's physically strong enough,
Yeah. And
hit. I didn't really get the goosebumps that I got from the first, especially Spider-Man 2 when he was stopping the train.
yeah. I mean,
It's a bummer.
Tony Stark really took over the Uncle Ben part in this movie and become Stern Stark. Because he was the motivation that he had. Like, yeah, I'm trying to become one of the Avengers. And then he disappointed Daddy. And what happened then? Daddy got mad and took away his toys.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I just gotta say, kudos of Tom Holland, because he has a nice emotional showcase. It's
great.
I mean,
I think I had no problems with any of the casting in this.
No. Great.
Just the pacing of it all.
Yeah. And as I was saying, the Stark motivation, it comes along very late in the movie, while a Uncle Ben arc would begin from the beginning. And if they were trying to replace Uncle Ben with a protective Aunt May, well, as you said, she's in the background.
Yeah, and like you said, it's too late. A lot of things were too late, and it's strange because this is a movie that didn't bother with the origin story, but still things happened too late.
Yeah.
Like the Michael Keaton reveal, oh, I'm the dad of the girl that you like, and
were you surprised by that?
Just
I just wondered because
sort of surprised, but the impact of it was diminished.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh yeah, but this is a typical Spider-Man thing. He should be very close to his enemies, but they should typically come the other way around.
Yeah.
The thing should actually be like, now I'm going to talk about my favorite Spider-Man movie, which is Spider-Man 2. He first had the dinner with Dr. Octavius, and then Dr. Octavius became Dr. Octopus, and that's why. So we should actually have had, I don't know, but then they had to rebuild the entire enemy arc, and
yeah. I mean, it now turned out to be like, oh, by the way, I'm her daddy. But guess what? But it's a gotcha moment.
Michael Keaton killed it in that car.
Oh god, that car scene.
That was good, but it
so good
because it happened like. What if Peter actually had dated the girl since the party?
Yeah.
Since the party, he had dated her, and he had dinner with Michael Keaton, and we didn't know that he was the Vulture. Or maybe we knew he was the Vulture.
Yeah.
We know that Peter is Spider-Man, but none of them know.
No, exactly. The dramatic irony.
And they could have so we know something they don't know, and then
they discover.
They talk about their different philosophies, like Peter talks about his internship with Tony Stark, and Keaton's character Adrian Toomes, he's like, oh well, rich people they don't care about us, Peter. You should build something up by yourself. You should just take the opportunity. You're a smart kid. You should just build it. I don't know, you have potential. Like I could help you, and think. So he should get Tony Stark as a father figure, and then he should have Adrian also as this other end of the spectrum, like the more working man.
Yeah, because then his growth as a teen would also make more sense. Like, oh, I have these father figures that I can look up to, but then one of them turns out to be super bad.
And if they also had that scene that you said, well, now I just have a bunch of ideas.
Yeah, it's okay.
While we but they should just had tightened things up at the beginning to make let us
smooth it out a bit. I mean,
smooth it out. You don't have to have all those gags. Oh,
those were hit and miss. Those were so hit and miss.
But did you see that we had Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the movie? Yeah, did you see that part?
I noticed people. Actually, I haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and people said, "Oh my god, it was so good," and I totally missed that reference. I have no idea what scene they're talking about.
The director was super inspired by Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah.
That last fight scene, though.
Cool. It's fine. Like,
it was very visual. It
was very visual.
It didn't have a lot of impact like that.
Very hectic.
Yeah, it's hectic.
Like everything else that I've been talking about, it didn't have emotional impact on me because they didn't build on that.
No, exactly. It didn't really have the impact.
I wasn't really scared that Michael Keaton's character would kill Peter. I wasn't scared that Peter was going to kill him. I wasn't worried because Michael Keaton's character was a father to the girl, so usually that would be the part where
I'm keeping her hostage.
I have kidnapped the girl and I'm going to kill her. No, he's not gonna kill her because so maybe they should have had a thing with
yeah, that's the thing.
At the end they should have had one of be a bad guy that he killed the original Shocker. So that guy would also have been perfect to have as a oh yeah, he hates from the beginning, but then they had they made a gag out of that.
Yeah,
he died. But they could have used that character to be yeah, I have kidnapped the girl now, and Adrian Toomes is oh no, so they sort of had to work together. Maybe.
But now they're just comic book villains.
Yeah. And then Michael Keaton could all that happens, he takes the blame and goes to jail.
Yeah.
And
then he met Scorpion.
We got the Scorpion though. Yeah, the Scorpion. And I enjoy that because Scorpion is sort of cool.
Yeah, I enjoy Scorpion as well.
He's a goofy character, but I like him.
Yeah, me too.
We're above an hour now, so
yeah, we're going to try to round off soon.
Wrap this up.
That was just to round up the things that you said. There's a lack of investment in the characters. There's no real things at stake. So at the final, at the movie's climax, the only things that are at stake, it's ooh, my girlfriend's dad is stealing stuff from the guy I'm trying to become friends with.
Yes.
The only thing that's on stake there is his reputation with Tony Stark and the Avengers. That's his motivation overall, and sure, it's a childish motivation, but I mean he's kind of a kid in that situation, and it shows. So, and it also shows in more ways than more scenes than one. But as to wrap what you set up, that's why it didn't have an impact, because there was really nothing at stake.
Barely anything.
No. But we got to hear some goodies on the plane. That's also fun. Thor's belt and all that. Can't let anything happen to it.
Yeah, and a new shield.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see Captain America's new shield.
I missed that shield, so I have to look up pictures of it, so I don't know what I focused on.
No, there's no pictures of it. There's you can't see the new shield.
Oh.
They just mentioned it.
Well, I must have totally glossed over that line then.
Jon Favreau's Happy Hogan's line was like, yeah, we have Thor's belt and Captain America's new shield, and I'm like, what? But now they have this new connection to Wakanda, so maybe Tony Stark got some new vibranium and made a completely new shield that's actually people going to... Because the line from Ultron was like, oh, the most powerful material in the world, and you make a frisbee.
Yeah.
And frisbee, but if you make it more like Stark Tech frisbee here. So that's what I'm
arc doing. Reactor shield.
Probably gonna talk about that nonsense
some other time.
That happens.
When Black
First,
Panther.
we're going to have Thor.
Yeah. That's the next one up the pipeline, isn't it?
Ragnarok.
Yeah. And that's late this year. Damn it.
Yeah, it's been lovely. We talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. More than I actually expected.
Yeah. But yeah. It usually goes that way.
Yeah, this is...
How about this? How about this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's our usual conversations. It's like, oh, imagine if this movie were more like this. Classic.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone, we're going to be back, hopefully next month. This is actually going to have a number on it and a proper name and an outro.
Oh my god.
Do you want to say something?
Kind of put me on the spot now. Thanks for listening in. It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye.